Hey.
What?
You boys, every time you walk by me, it's like a flash of light goes by. Them are the wildest colored crocs I ever seen, man.
So what's up, guys? We are back with another video. Before we get started, go down there, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and like this video. So today we are at the pond, and we're gonna try to catch some tilapia.
That's right, but we're gonna do something a little bit different, aren't we? We didn't bring any fishing poles this time.
Nope.
What are we doing?
We're gonna set out traps.
Hey, looky there, Jacoby spoke on camera. Give me knuckles. That's right, Jacoby. We're gonna put out a couple fish traps. We haven't done a fish trap video, you know, since like, I don't know, probably June or July. So the game plan today, fellas, is try to catch as many tilapia that are filleting size as possible.
Okay.
Because we have a really big cold front coming, and once the water temperature gets below about 48 degrees, these tilapia will die off. These big umbrella traps work really well for us for big bluegill and stuff, and I think if we can get the tilapia interested in some fish feed inside, we might be able to catch some of them. Now we could bring a fishing pole over here and catch a few, but the problem with these tilapia is they're pretty smart. So once you catch one or two of the bigger ones, the other ones kind of disperse. So let's load up a couple traps and see what we can catch. We'll rob a little fish food out of the feeder here. Put in there. Bring me that other trap, fellas. Oh no! I forgot to tie the bottom off. It all just fell out the bottom. So let me do them one at a time so I can video you. Okay. If you can get it out that far.
Okay. Like right there?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh. May have to do it for you, Kobe. You landed upside down.
Is that good enough?
Yep. They come all the way up close and eat. All right, fellas. Y'all think we can catch any tilapia?
I don't know.
You don't know? You think we can catch any big bluegill?
Yeah.
What's your prediction on these traps? Come on, man. I know you got one.
I say we'll probably catch about I'm gonna say about 5 or 10.
Quit throwing fish food out. We want them to go in the trap, okay? We got fish food out everywhere, but we want them in the traps.
Okay.
You think 5 or 10 what?
Fish.
Oh,
5 or 10.
Just fish.
5 or 10 bluegill. Well, probably about 5 bluegill, maybe 5 tilapia.
What about you?
5 bluegill and 8 tilapia.
All right. Well, we'll let them set for a
Hey,
few
what's
hours.
5 plus 8?
I got to put the lid back on this.
5 plus 8.
Yeah, I'll fix it off camera, but anyways, we're gonna let these set for a few hours, go back. Well, we're gonna go fill up a couple deer feeders, check a couple trail cameras, cook some lunch, and whatever else I can get these two boys into. So maybe we'll have a trap full of tilapia later. Deer have definitely been hitting these molasses blocks, these flavored blocks that hang from the trees. They used to be a lot bigger than that, so got a few pieces of corn on there. Dumped some corn out, but the deer are definitely using them. I don't know how, how much they actually get from them, but it attracts them to a certain area so that you can at least get some pictures on a game camera. All right, fellas, let's go fill up that deer feeder.
Yeah.
this is one of my Revel Tacticam wireless, it's a cell phone camera, and this thing is actually working really, really well. So I put 2 of them up on my property. One stays on my driveway as just for security purposes, really just to get pictures of anyone that comes in and out, trying to get the camera lighting a little bit better. But the way these cell phone cameras work, you know, it has a SIM card in it, but I don't come over and pull the SIM card out like I do on all the rest. I mean, I come over here and throw a little feed on the ground every once in a while, but I don't actually have to come to this spot if I had, you know, a feeder set up or if it was on a trail or something. But the way it works is you download the app and it just sends pictures. Now I've got 2 cameras tied to this, so you'll see some from different locations, different pictures from different locations. So we'll start here at the top. The Tacticam Revel app opened up. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it. Just took a picture of us when we pulled up. And then there's a couple girls, my daughter and her friends on the 4-wheeler. There goes someone going out. Friends of ours come in. She picked up her daughter. My wife left. Anyway, so here's some game camera pictures from this camera pointing across the field over there. You can see our little hunting blind in the background. This is the spot where Emily and Weston both, Emily and Houston both harvested their deer during the youth season. So there's a lot of deer moving. It'll send you notifications on your phone if you want it to. There's a pig last night. Little buck there. So it works great. There's our pig friend. And I'm able to just get all those pictures on my phone. You don't have to go pull those cards. It's really nice. I like it. The quality of the camera, the pictures, as you can see, is really good. And I haven't had too many problems. The battery life's a little short on them. But other than that, seems to be working great.
Can I do it? Can I do it? Lay the corn out?
Sure. Yes, it does. Lift up. Push that. Now, if you let go, it's going to sling around and hit your arm. So, if you want to let go, it'll just come down on its own. Ready? Well, that's why we're here. Fire in the hole. See if it works.
Throw it at me. It works. It works.
You've been corned. So a couple days ago, I posted some pictures on Facebook from this game camera right here. And there were about 15, maybe 20 wild hogs on the pictures. And I'm telling you what, they range in size from like 250 pounds down to about 50 pounds. And they're just thick right now. They kind of pass through. They don't stay on our property all the time. But this time of year they pop up because we've got a ton of oak trees and the acorns are falling on the ground. But a couple people made a comment about we shouldn't be using deer feeders putting corn out because we're baiting in the feral hogs. Well, maybe by about this much that's true. We're putting out, I mean, that feeder is a 5-gallon bucket that hangs in that tree. So it holds about 50 pounds, maybe 40 pounds of corn, and that'll run for a week and a half. So it's not like we're putting out a ton of corn. But my neighbor, right after I posted those pictures, the next day I got a text message from a neighbor who was literally just a few hundred yards through those trees, and they caught 14 of those little babies in a trap. But see, he's got about probably 100 cows next to me on a big piece of property, and he uses creep feeders, which if you're not familiar with a creep feeder, basically his calves can go into a feeder. It's small enough that the calves can fit in and they can eat all they want anytime. It's self-feeding basically for the small calves. Well, the hogs come in and they eat that feed also. So he puts up traps next to those feeders. So I'm not complaining about my neighbor using creep feeders at all, but he's got to do what he's got to do to raise his cattle herd the way he wants to. So my little deer feeder that puts out a couple pounds of corn a day, that's not what's attracting the hogs here. They're already here. It's not that we're bringing them in by any means. Those things are here, and they don't like pressure. So you hunt them just a little bit, put a little bit of pressure on them, and they'll leave, but they come back. And a feral hog around here has almost no predators, and they have babies every 3 or 4 months. So if one sow has 7 to 10, maybe more babies, in 3 or 4 months she's going to do it again. In 3 or 4 months she's going to do it again, and all those generations behind her are coming up doing the same thing. So they're terrible, invasive, nasty species, and we need to get rid of them. A lot of the United States is struggling with feral hogs, and I don't know what the answer to the problem is, but I can promise you the problem is not a few pounds of corn on the ground. So we use it for the deer, and if a hog comes in, a hog comes in, and if we get a chance, we take out as many of them as we can. All right, it's about 6 o'clock this evening. These traps have been out for about 6 hours, and it looks like the fish feeder just recently went off.
And it looks like they are just now starting to come up. Feels like
So,
it's warmer to them.
We're gonna see if we caught any tilapia. I don't know, it's kind of cool out here. The water has cooled off a lot. I don't know how active they are right now, but only one way to find out, and I'd sure like to catch a bunch of these before they die off. All right, Jacoby, first trap. I remember you said 5 bluegill and 3 tilapia? 8 tilapia?
Yeah, 8 tilapia.
Well, it's not looking good. I don't see any tilapia.
Well, at least
That's a bummer. There's a bunch of little tiny bluegill in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know. What, about 10 bluegill?
Yeah.
Something like that. Just,
Has
hey,
purple on it.
he does. He is pretty. It's good to see those little small bluegill like that. That means they're spawning and reproducing. I think what we need to do, boys, though, we'll check that other trap. Let's leave these out overnight just to see. I really think we can catch some tilapia.
Okay.
So let's toss this back out there.
Are we gonna?
Hopefully the water hasn't gotten too cool already.
Are we gonna pick this one up again? Are we gonna pick this one up?
Yeah, pull that other trap in. Hey.
What?
You boys, every time you walk by me, it's like a flash of light goes by. Them are the wildest colored crocs I ever seen, man. Where'd y'all get those?
A fan sent us them.
Somebody sent them to you?
Yeah.
Hey, what do you say?
Thank you.
Thanks. Nice.
I'm almost kind of glad I didn't get a pair because those are awful flashy for me.
Here's something.
Something splashing around in there.
Oh,
Definitely
big
not any
bluegill.
big tilapia.
But a big bluegill.
Yep. One decent sized bluegill. Boys,
Can I keep him?
that's not a good sign. You know it?
No. Got him. He's about the size of my hand.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and throw him back in the pond. Oh, he about went back in the trap. Throw him back in the pond.
Well, Houston, I think you lost the bluegill competition.
Hey, Jacoby's trap had more bluegill, but Houston's had a big one.
So I don't know who won that one.
I feel like that should be me.
So we're gonna leave these traps out overnight because what these guys don't know is about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, I came over here and threw one of those traps out trying to catch some big shiners. We've got some really big shiners in this pond, and actually there's a ton of big shiners in here. And I left those traps out, or I left that one trap out overnight trying to catch shiners to use as bait for fish in the lake. Well, when I came back the next morning, there were about 20 filleting size tilapia in that trap. And I just let them go That was probably a mistake, but I let them go because I wanted to let them experience that, and I wanted to shoot a video for it and let it, you know, show you guys catching those big tilapia in there. So we're gonna leave these traps sit overnight. Hopefully, hopefully we haven't already lost our tilapia. He got down in the high 30s, low 40s last night, but that's the first time the temperatures have dropped low enough to really drop that water temperature. So I bet they're all still alive. It's just the water temperatures have dropped quite a bit, and I'm sure they're moving slow. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right then. Well, I guess we'll see you guys in the morning. So I don't think Houston thought this through very well yesterday when he said we could leave them out all night.
Yeah.
That might have been me though, actually.
Yeah.
So we went to church this morning, and Weston and I had to cut a bunch of firewood after church, and now the weather has turned nasty on us earlier than I thought it was going to. So we haven't checked these traps today. It's about 3 o'clock, so they've actually been sitting untouched since what, 5:30, something like that, yesterday afternoon. And it's about 50 degrees and light rain, and Jacoby doesn't have a coat on. I'm freezing because I got all sweaty cutting firewood. Houston's got a coat. Jacoby,
Yeah.
where's your coat, man?
I didn't bring one.
It's wintertime. You're tough though, huh?
Is it fall?
Yeah, it's fall, but it sure feels like winter.
Yeah.
So let's go check these traps before we get the camera too wet.
I mean that green. Bright green.
Well,
It's moss.
it's some kind of algae bloom on the pond, but I couldn't tell you exactly.
No.
All right, Jacoby, I got faith in you. This trap better be full of tilapia. It's sit all night long. Is there anything in it?
Oh, it's heavy.
Where did all our tilapia go? Look out, buddy. Boy, you got the... So, I don't know what just happened, but we're gonna have to finish this vlog out on my iPhone. My main vlog camera just all of a sudden quit. I don't think the battery went dead. It was, unless the battery meter wasn't working right. But Jacoby pulled the first trap in. I just knew you were gonna pull in a whole load of tilapia. Nothing but perfect bait size bluegill. I mean, if we were gonna go take them to the lake, those would be perfect size to catch anything that swims. All right, Houston, let's check your trap.
We have to have faith in me now.
I mean, it's probably because of those wild, crazy Crocs. That's probably, you got the wrong shoes on. You're not holding your mouth right, something. Come on, be full of tilapia.
It is heavy. Oh, I feel something moving.
Well,
We got some tilapia, I think.
let's see.
Oh, that's it. Is that a shiner?
There's one.
No,
tilapia.
you got 3 tilapia, but they're not big enough to fillet. Let's pull them out here and see them. All right, let's see. That is not a keeper size tilapia, but hey.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a tilapia?
Yeah.
Have you? Okay, I couldn't remember if you come over here and caught any with us or not.
No.
No? Where have you seen tilapia at?
Here.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, that's kind of a bummer, fellas. Like, I thought we would really catch a bunch, because I'm telling you, I came over here one day and I caught a bunch of them in that exact trap, and I threw them back. That was a mistake, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's let these fish go. Not a whole lot we can do with these.
I'll kiss it.
There he goes.
Jacoby's over here doing lots of fish kissing. He's been hanging out with Jimmy Houston too much. Well, pooped. We didn't catch near as many tilapia as I expected. I'm telling you guys, I went over there without the boys one time and caught more than enough to feed our whole family, probably a couple meals. And I just hate to see those big tilapia go to waste. I don't want them to just die. So I've heard that as the water temperature drops, they'll kind of come up to the surface, trying to warm their head because they need the heat from the sun, and you can scoop them up with a net. So maybe we'll get lucky and catch them on the perfect day for that. I don't know. It's gonna be kind of tough, but I sure don't want to waste all those good eating tilapia in our pond. So we may have to go over there with a fishing pole in a few days or something, but it's supposed to get down in the 30s, and maybe the water temperature won't drop too far, and we can actually get some sunlight on that water during the daytime or something. But last night, so Right now it's Oklahoma muzzleloader season for deer, so it's like primitive firearms season, and the kids don't muzzleloader hunt just yet. But let me show you guys a few pictures that I got on my Revel cell cams last night. So the rut is just starting to fire up here in Oklahoma. We've got new bucks showing up, bucks that I've never seen on camera.
What does rut mean?
The rut means the breeding season.
Oh.
So that's why we do so much work to feed our deer population, to draw the does in, keep the does here on our property. And the more does we can keep here, the more opportunities we have at a new buck showing up, a new big buck cruising around looking for a good looking girlfriend. So I'll show you guys those pictures, and guys, that's all we've got for today. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day, and as always,
We'll see you on next video. Peace.
you didn't know where the lens was at.
Yeah.